Wednesday.
Wake up!
You guys really are like the hip-hop early morning, late night talk show.
The Breakfast Club is the most powerful, popular, urban radio show in America.
Made it! Live from the Black Mothership in New York City, DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God, and Jess Hilarious.
Thank y'all for being cultural leaders, man. I appreciate what y'all do for the culture.
Collectively known as Breakfast Club Bitches.
I'm always nervous when I do the Breakfast Club because sometimes you say stuff and it's just gonna get you in trouble.
Everybody wake up!
Good morning, USA! Yo 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 yo.
Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess Hilarious. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Tuesday.
Thought it was Wednesday already, didn't you?
I had to remember what day it was. That's all. You know, it happens. It's all a blur sometimes.
That's right. How you guys feeling out there?
Blessed, black, and highly favored. How y'all feeling? Happy to be here. Another day to serve our amazing listeners.
I feel great. Well rested. I went to bed a little early yesterday.
Did you?
After I got my hair done. Yes.
Yeah, you needed it.
What, to go to bed or to get my hair done?
That was something about go to bed.
I agree with the fact she needed both. Okay, and I think that you need to start wearing a helmet. Why do you always need your hair done?
This guy is crazy.
Why would I wear a helmet?
Your hair needs a different kind of protection.
Yo,
You have
the
the
helmet is crazy.
You have the protective style like the braids.
You didn't even, when I was sitting here yesterday with that hat on, you didn't even know what was going on under the hat.
I did.
You did not.
Listen, you had a locks hat on. You was ready for war. Okay. Right.
You did not. But look, homecoming, it was hot outside this weekend for homecoming. Normally,
it was great.
Normally the weather breaks a little bit. It feels like normally like today at homecoming, it was so hot and I was in leather. My hair was
That video you posted last night was amazing. The video when her hair wasn't done and she was about to get it done. She was like, you know how my name is Lauren LaRosa. You wonder how I got here? I laughed.
My hairdresser was so over me. He was like, I'm on my way.
Well, we got some special guests.
When the hairdresser call you and say, look, I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. You ain't even got to call me.
Shout out to Dante the hairstylist. I think he's listening right now because he at work and he said, I'm on my way.
You be making that man work.
He was like, why would you have a hat on? I'm on my way.
Jesus. All right.
Gosh.
Well, we got some special guests joining us this morning.
Who we got?
We got Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson from All the Smoke Podcast. They'll be joining us.
Man, listen, the All the Smoke Podcast can be heard on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network. But today, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson are celebrating 5 years of All the Smoke. So they have released a coffee table book, All the Smoke, All the Stars, All the Stories, No Apologies, on my book imprint, Black Privilege Publishing with Simon & Schuster. That is out today. So all your favorite All the Smoke interviews from Kobe Bryant to Allen Iverson to Kevin Durant to Deion Sanders to Don Staley, they're all in this book, and they'll be here to talk about it this morning.
That's right. And also, Morris Chestnut and Emayatyz Corinealdi. They'll be joining us this morning. Reasonable Doubt Season 2 is on Hulu, so...
Can the studio handle all this handsome?
What you mean?
Can they handle all this handsome between me and Morris Chestnut? I'm just saying, okay?
But is it between y'all?
No.
First of all,
I think he's carrying that race on his own, boo.
First of all, everybody.
Between y'all is crazy.
Yeah, between y'all is crazy.
Throwing yourself in that is a little insane.
And how you just don't throw me in there?
By the way, Morris Chestnut was on Jennifer Hudson's show about a year ago, and he said he gets mistaken for me. He was on Sherry Shepherd's show yesterday, and he said he got mistaken for me too.
Mistaken doesn't mean that
listen,
it's
a win is a win.
Do you follow this man's life to see if he's going to
People tag me in these things. A win is a win.
There's blind people everywhere.
A win is a win.
That's the same thing when people get online and be like, because y'all was asking and nobody asked.
You can't break my soul. Means nothing to me.
There's a lot of blind people out there.
All this pessimism gets reported as porn in my life. Don't even listen to it.
Nobody compares you.
God.
Y'all don't look alike.
God. Take it up with her. Okay? All right? She made these factory models.
You can call anybody y'all don't look alike.
Okay? I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know what the streets say.
Streets.
That's right.
You're right.
Just letting you know.
The alleys.
Okay.
Where?
Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
feel that?
No,
feel that?
I don't feel
it's
nothing.
Called hate. Means nothing to me though. Nothing to me.
Let's get the show cracking. Front page news. More going to be joining us. I'm sure she'll break down presidential election, the hurricanes, and more. So don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. Let's get in some front page news. Now, Monday Night Football. The Chiefs beat the Saints 26-13. Their record is now 5-0. Tonight, the Connecticut Sun takes on on the links at 8 p.m. in WNBA. Now, last night...
Game 5, by the way. That's a Game 5.
Game 5,
That's the final game of that series. So whoever wins that goes to the WNBA Finals to play the New York Liberty.
Now, last night in baseball, the Royals beat the Yankees. They tied the series 1-1. And the Tigers beat the Guardians. They tied the series 1-1. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, good morning. That sounds like a lot of fun. Unfortunately, right now in front page news, top of the headlines, we're looking at this Hurricane Milton, as it approaches Florida. Now, President Biden is signing an emergency disaster declaration as Hurricane Milton approaches Florida. It'll authorize FEMA and Department of Homeland Security to use their resources for hurricane response. Now, this is the second major storm in the past month to hit the state after Helene. At last check, Milton was a Category 4 hurricane this morning with potential to strengthen to a Cat 5 with maximum winds of 155 miles per hour. And it's forecast to make landfall late Wednesday or early Thursday. Counties along Florida's west coast have been ordered to evacuate. Over 50 are under a state of emergency. Fortunately, Milton is not expected to have any major impacts. It's not expected to have any major impacts on already battered North Carolina as it continues to deal with the aftermath of Helene. Now, meanwhile, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, he says Hurricane Milton is a really, really strong storm that will produce major damage. He says the state is ready to have resources deployed to the expected hardest hit areas, and everyone on Florida's west coast should be prepared for major impacts. Let's hear from Governor Ron DeSantis out of Florida on Milton.
We have made a pre-landfall declaration request from FEMA for support, and the federal government has approved a portion of our request for pre-landfall items, and we expect the remaining parts of our request subsequent to landfall for debris and individual assistance once the storm hits will also be approved. We have 5,000 National Guardsmen that have been mobilized. We'll have, before the storm hits, another 3,000. We're also deploying major heavy equipment to assist with debris removal. And, of course, National Guard will be a big part of any search and rescue that needs to happen.
Yeah, Hurricane Milton is not playing in any way, shape, or form. Is it a Category 4 or 5? In 2024, with the way climate change and global warming has made these storms stronger, it's going to be catastrophic.
Yeah, and people can't leave. They're saying that they're stuck. They're saying that the flights are canceled. They're saying highways are crazy, so people can't leave. So definitely pray for your family members. Pray for anybody that you know that's going to be affected by it as well.
Yeah, so Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri, he says residents, business owners, and employees with Barrier Island re-entry permits will have access, but as of 7 p.m. tonight, all access for everyone will be shut down for those Barrier Islands. He also says, based on the magnitude of Milton, they will arrest people who refuse to leave restaurants, bars, businesses that are still open. Not to say it like that, but maybe, that could be a safer place to be. I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. In prisons, it's as crazy as it sounds, those jails are good shelter.
Yeah. So recovery efforts, and then switching gears just a little bit to Helene. Recovery efforts are still going on in North Carolina. The death toll has climbed to more than 75, with western parts of the state being hardest hit. Governor Roy Cooper says things are getting better, though. So hopefully this isn't one of those politicized situations. Governor Roy Cooper, he's a Republican. Hopefully he is getting that resources to his people in North Carolina. Let's hear from Governor Roy Cooper out of North Carolina.
There is progress in western North Carolina toward recovery. We're still opening roads. We're still working to reach communities. We still have search and rescue occurring as we speak. But we know the people of North Carolina and will pull together, and that the people of western North Carolina will recover from this storm.
Yes, I'll yield the last few comments to you guys. I mean, what's going on with these storms, to your point, Charlamagne, is not to be played with. So if you do know someone in those areas, y'all need to get the move on. I spoke to my neighbor yesterday. She's in Tampa, and they've been told to evacuate as well. So, wow. Or my old neighbor.
Yeah, I can't believe. I think I was watching that video yesterday of Kamala Harris, who says that Ron DeSantis is refusing to take her calls about Hurricane Helene. Hurricane Helene. And I just can't believe you have politicians who will politicize these natural disasters. Like, Mother Nature should be the most humbling thing for humans, because Mother Nature don't care what race you are. Mother Nature don't care about your sexuality. Mother Nature don't care about your religion. Mother Nature don't care about your political party. And there is nothing you can do but prepare for the worst when one of these storms are coming. So this should be the time where everybody should be coming together.
That's right.
Absolutely. And if you live in Florida, you need to hold your elected officials, local and state elected officials, accountable for these type of things. But I won't get too much into that. That's your front page news for 6 a.m., 7 a.m. We're going to catch up with the candidates.
All right. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
I'm dialing. Hey, what you doing, man? I'm dialing. I'm calling you.
This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
This is Lex.
Hey, Lex.
From New Brunswick.
From New Brunswick. What's up, Lex?
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Blessings to you all.
How you
How are you guys doing this morning?
Good.
Blessed, black, and highly favored.
Oh, I hear you. So I'm gonna turn this from a negative to a positive. So I'm gonna start with a positive.
Okay.
So I started a new job yesterday for the city of Newark in finance department. So that was a blessing.
That's dope.
But I'm also wanted to express and get some advice. My boyfriend of almost 2 years ghosted me.
What you mean ghosted you?
Me because of a certain issue we had, and I'm going to put him on blast because he needs a wake-up call. His name's Miggs. He's from Newark, the city of Newark, Brick City. And because what? Because of someone in a short skirt all of a sudden came and said sweet nothings in his ears. You could pretty much say that.
Oh,
so you're going to throw away something that I've hold it down when you were jobless, but I kept it real with you. I went through the good, the bad, the ugly, and the ugliest with this man. I opened up my heart, my family, everything, and this is how you're going to do me.
So listen,
I'm sorry, what was that, Charlamagne?
I said your legs too. You opened up your legs. You
Exactly, I agree, and I'm gonna keep it real. And it was good. It's good. So I'm not gonna deny it. But hey, you know what? We're adults. Keep it real.
Now hold on.
You know what?
Did he leave you, or did he just step out on you for a second, and now you don't want him back?
Yeah. No, he actually right now currently I don't even know what it is, Charlamagne. To be honest with you. He doesn't answer the calls. He doesn't want to say anything. And what? So I'm supposed to, wait?
So he just bounced?
Wow.
There was no reason. He just bounces one day. He woke up and he's just out the house?
No, another girl.
Oh.
Yeah. No. The thing is that supposedly the friend is a best friend. And okay, so he was like the best friend wanted to meet me. Okay, what is her name? Avoided the question, never responded. So I asked him, be straight up, what's going on? Nothing. So I pretty much he hasn't responded anything since Friday morning. Wow. And he's the one that encouraged me to actually move forward with getting this job. And I appreciate that. That I appreciate 1,000%. But when you were down and out, I was there. But when I need your support, even though I don't need a support from a man or anyone because I know who I am and what kind of woman I am. But wow.
Well, you said it's just been since Friday. So I mean, let's give it a moment. We don't even know if this guy's in trouble. He might be in the hospital.
Yeah, is he okay?
Like you don't.
No, he's okay. Trust you me, he's okay. He's real okay.
Damn, she didn't get her research.
Well, let's give it a minute. Let's see what happens. Like, let me know what happens by the end of the week. Call us back at the end of the week and give us an update.
And he's listening.
What's his name?
He Miggs from Newark.
Miggs from Newark, yo. Call in. What's your name, ma'am? Again?
Lex.
Miggs from Newark.
Alexa.
Alexa wants to know what's going on. She wants to know where y'all stand. Are y'all still together? She held you down when you was nothing.
Obviously, they're not together anymore. Obviously, he decided this was too much.
If he call you today or tomorrow, you down? Like, is y'all back together?
Yes, they had
we would have to sit down and really talk and put things out on the table, because we just came from Vegas for my birthday last month.
No, unprotected sex in Vegas. Y'all go together for real, for real.
Well, they went together. All right. Thank you, Mama.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right,
have
Lex.
a good day, guys.
Now, you've been ghosted before. What would you tell her, Lauren?
Whoa, I've been what?
No?
I've never been ghosted.
Oh.
I don't like when guys do stuff like that,
You
though,
be
especially
doing
when you're an
things.
adult. When you're an adult, just tell the woman what's up, and vice versa. Just tell the man what's up.
Sometimes guys need a minute. I was about to say, sometimes guys need a minute, and I think sometimes, from my own experience, there's been times where, like, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, he
and
probably
so
told
you
her.
had to take a little minute and then come back and we have a
he
conversation.
probably told her, but she didn't hear it, or she heard it the way she wanted to
she
hear
didn't
it.
want to hear it. She heard
didn't
it.
want to hear it.
That's
Yeah,
what I mean.
exactly.
Yeah, she heard it. She didn't want to hear it.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
It's a new day.
This is your time to get it off your chest.
Wake up.
Whether you're mad or blessed.
It's time to get up and get something.
Call up now. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hello, what's going on? It's Aaron. Just get it off my chest.
Aaron, what's up? Get it off your chest, brother.
Not much. I'm talking about the Hurricane Milton down here in Florida. I know Morgan was like, it's a Category 4, but it reached a Category 5 last night around like 8 p.m. They said the max winds was like 185 miles per hour, man. So everybody in Florida, man, y'all be safe, man. Y'all get prepared. Get off the roads. It's going to be crazy, man.
Absolutely.
Man,
be
praying
safe
for
out
Florida,
there, brother.
Especially Tampa. I heard Tampa about to get hit hard. Praying for Tampa, man.
Yeah. It's crazy out here, man. But appreciate it. Y'all stay blessed.
All right, brother. Have a good one. Hello, who's this?
Yo, DJ Envy, Charlamagne. Good morning, Miss La Rosa. How you doing?
Good morning,
brother.
Coach Davis.
Get it off your chest.
All right, listen. Yesterday, I was. First off, let me say, Miss La Rosa, you're doing a great job up there in place of my home girl. You know, Jess With The Mess.
Jess Hilarious.
Yesterday, you was talking about your Jess Hilarious. You was talking about your exploits with your Delaware State, and you mentioned my homie's son, Kid Meech. You know, that name sound mad familiar, and I was like, yo, who is that? And I remembered that was my homie's son that's doing this thing down in Delaware, but he's also in New York. He's New York. He's out of Queens.
Okay.
You know, so you know that I appreciate you shouting him out yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. He did a really good job with the crowd. So
that's great. That's great to know. But you know what? You're definitely doing a great job up here in Jess Hilarious' place. You know, I hope they have you come up every now and then, and you know when she's out. But y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. I love listening to y'all in the morning. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, brother.
Coach. Hello, who's this?
Yeah,
Hello?
that's Tony from yeah.
What's up, Tony? I can hear you now. Get it off your chest, brother.
Man, I got a question for Charlamagne, man. To get a question to the vice president, man. I work construction. I'm a welder by trade, man. That's what I do. And you know, when Donald Trump said he wasn't going to tax overtime, you know, a lot of people I work with, you know, they like to hear that. You know, we work 70, 80 hours a week, and I wanted him to see about President Kamala Harris about how she feel about not taxing overtime.
How does she feel about not taxing overtime?
Yeah, because, you know, she says she got a plan to stimulate the middle class. You know, we work a lot of hours. You know, we work these outages and turnarounds. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but, you know, we go in there and we shut these power plants down. We work 80 hours a week, and, you know, and not taxing our overtime to put another $3 to $4 grand a month in our pocket.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
That is a very valid question.
And a lot of people I work with, and, you know, you always talk about, you know, picking up a trade and being a welder, you know, and a lot of our people, man, that's what we want to hear. How we going to keep our money in our pocket.
That's right.
So, I mean, and stimulating the middle class, we are the middle class. When construction workers are not working, the economy is bad because nobody's buying nothing, you know. So, I don't know, man. That could be a hard one to go in the voter's booth and be like, oh.
Yeah, nah, she keeps saying she wants.
But my family is voting for Kamala. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a Trump supporter, but it's going to be a hard bargain, you know, to not go for that if you want to keep money in your pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hopefully we get to ask her that. If not, she's doing The View today. She's doing Howard Stern show today. She's doing Stephen Colbert show today. Maybe one of them is listening to us, and they'll ask that question, before one of us get the opportunity to. But how does she feel about not taxing overtime? I think that is a very, very, very valid question, especially for somebody who has the opportunity economy plan like the vice president that wants to rebuild the middle class.
Yeah, because she keeps saying she wants the rich to pay their fair share. And I always wonder what that means. Does that mean that you're going to start taxing some of those billion-dollar corporations that are
That's
not
exactly
being
what it
taxed?
means. That's what she said.
Okay.
That's exactly what it means.
Okay, good. All right. And I ain't mad at that because some of those billion-dollar corporations pay zero tax.
I don't know if y'all saw the 60 Minutes interview. That was her answer verbatim. Like, yes, but we do that by taxing the most wealthiest amongst us and those corporations.
But I just wonder also how that affects. So if they do tax those billion-dollar corporations, do those corporations say, you know what, I'm going to stay in the U.S. or do I go international with my work where, labor is cheaper?
They're going to try to get around. But I think that can't they create laws where certain things have to stay
You can't make somebody stay here. I don't think you can.
That messes us up.
I have no idea.
Right?
But that's what Trump was saying. Trump was saying he wants more business to stay here. That's why a lot of those corporations got those tax breaks. But get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. We got Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa coming up.
We do. Miss Sissy Houston, Whitney Houston's mom, passed away yesterday. So we're going to take some time for her, send a tribute out to her.
All right. We'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa.
News is real. Whether it's Jess Hilarious, Jessica Robin Moore, just don't do no lies. She don't spare nobody.
Worldwide Jess, worldwide Mess.
On The Breakfast Club.
She's a coach assistant.
With Lauren LaRosa.
I'm back. And I got the mess.
Talk to me.
So we want to take some time to send a rest in peace and some love to the family of Whitney Houston. Her mother, Sissy Houston, was announced last night that she passed away. I spoke with a rep for Sissy Houston who told me that she passed away at 91 years old. She was surrounded by her family in New Jersey, in her New Jersey home. She was under hospice care. She had been dealing with Alzheimer's disease for some time. She was, I believe I said she was 91 years old, but
91, yep.
Yeah, people know, a lot of people know Sissy Houston as Miss Sissy Houston as the mother of Whitney Houston, but she was also a very, very successful gospel singer, a gospel music legend, 2-time Grammy winner. She began singing back in 1938. She collaborated with Beyonce, Luther Vandross. She sung backup for Elvis Presley, Aretha Franklin, Chaka Khan, Dionne Warwick, Jimi Hendrix. So, she blazed the iconic music trail of her own. So I want to take some time to show her some love.
What a blessing to live to be 91 years old, man. I would love to see 91 years on this planet. I want 101, but 91 is a blessing. Yeah. So she lived a very long, full life.
Yeah, definitely rest in peace and condolences to the family.
Now, in other news, Kanye may be on his way to another divorce. So Kanye and his wife, Bianca Censori, there are reports out right now. TMZ has confirmed a story that their 2-year marriage may be ending. So right now, from multiple sources close, oh, you don't want to hear this one, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No love for Ye this morning?
No.
This man that might be going through, a
Me
divorce.
and Dr. Umar don't care. Me and Dr. Umar don't give a good goddamn.
Let me get to the story before y'all send the lashes over here, okay? So him and Bianca Censori were married for 2 years. This is the woman that he got with after leaving Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
That everybody was like, oh, she looks just like Kim.
She walks around naked all the time, right?
She does.
Okay, yeah.
But she has been a big part of the family. We've seen her out with North and the other kids as well. Now, multiple people around this couple tell TMZ that they are split right now and that they have been needing to split up for some time. There are also reports that Bianca took a trip to Australia to be with her family since the split, and that Kanye is planning to go to Tokyo once the divorce happens and be there by himself. Now, he has been seen out over the last couple months a couple times without her. Normally, they're always together. There's no word though on what prompted the split or who's the one who actually pulled the plug in this.
So listen, they were really married? You would know because you worked at TMZ and all that. Like, they really had marriage license and all that? I never knew they were actually married.
From everything that I knew, they were. From everything I knew.
Another interracial relationship bites the dust. Okay?
Poor Ye.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like she kind of helped
Why
him.
not poor Bianca?
Yeah, we don't know.
Poor Bianca.
Poor both of them.
Yeah,
Divorce
poor
is
both of them.
hard on both parties.
Kanye seemed like the exhausting one. But once again, me and Dr. Umar don't care.
Oh, man. Oh, Ye's been going through a lot, so poor Ye.
Well, yes. We'll be following that, see what
Regardless,
happens.
love is
Because it seems like right now they just taking a little break from each other.
So we'll see what happens.
Yes. So speaking of taking breaks, right now, Halle Bailey and DDG, you guys remember we reported that DDG came out and made the statement that they were not together right now, that they are family, they're going to, effectively co-parent. Well, since then, he has a podcast called Not an Ordinary Podcast, and he's actually, been speaking out a bit just to clear some things up. So following their breakup, fans begin to drag him online. Now, this is not something new. They were already dragging DDG. A lot of fans of Halle, they feel like she's a Disney princess. She shouldn't be with him. So he deals with a lot of that online. So he got online to address some things, and he talked about the fact that that they are, regardless of what, always going to be family. Let's take a listen.
For a long time, people feel like I didn't belong the industry or the music industry and this and that, especially me being with Halle. She's a superstar. She's the greatest ever. Being around her, I feel like it made a lot of people side-eye me because they had, she's a princess. So they already had their mind set up about her, and they look at me and I don't fit that image. But it's cool. It's a reason why she stayed with me. It's a reason why we had a child together. It's a reason why all of this happened. Like, me and Halle are forever family. I will Swiss cheese your granny over Halle, and that's just what it is. That's called family. I feel like the term baby mama does sound a little ghetto. So I like to call it mother of my child. The mother of my child is forever protected by me.
Dropping the clues bombs for DDG.
Yeah.
Stay focused, young man. That's the one thing in the conversation that I believe to be very true that he said. Don't forget they still family. He's still the father of that child. That's still the mother of his child. If you think at some point in life those two won't be back together, you're bugging.
Right. And that when I watched the podcast, because I don't really know too much about him, I've been to like his label had like a dinner thing for media, and I went there, and he was, he was super sweet in person when I met him, but I've always seen the fan trolls online. So when hearing him talk like this, I'm like, man, like, that's a great support system for her to have. It's really tough being young in front of people and y'all have a baby.
He seems mature and he seems evolved.
Exactly. Like, it's bigger than just what, whatever they might have going on. But then he also got into, because a lot of people felt like, well, he made this announcement because they're both really public figures. So maybe he's about to have another girlfriend or she's about to have another boyfriend. So he kind of spoke to that as well, too. Let's take a listen.
And I'm kind of thinking he might have met somebody already, or he's ready to start dating, and he's just trying to avoid.
No, let me say that right now, y'all. I am not dating anyone. I don't have a potential girlfriend, nor do I even think about that whatsoever. I don't plan on getting into another relationship at all unless it's Halle. That's the only way. I am not finna get a new girlfriend. I don't have the desire. I don't want multiple baby mamas. I don't want none of that. We taking a break, like I said. I'm finna go pick my son up right after this. Let me live my life. That's none of your business.
That was another clip when I heard that response. I was like, he's carrying it the right way, and I feel like they're going to get back together.
Yeah.
But they're so young.
And what a great way to launch your podcast.
Bro.
I mean, everybody talking about you, forget going somewhere and giving them the headlines. You got your own platform.
Your own headlines.
You can control your own narrative. I love that. And it's actually good when things like this happen because you get to see who's for you and who's not.
Yes.
So.
And the podcast has only been going for a month. They 44.7 subscribers, but I mean DDG is really good at this internet stuff, so the numbers are there, and he's smart about addressing things. And I think there's been a lot of conversation online around them too about why is he the one speaking out so much and not her. But I think she's always been a person that's been kind of to herself, her and her sister.
I hate when people say stuff like that. Like we be saying, why doesn't this person say anything? If you look at their history, they never say anything.
Yeah. And he seems like he's the one that's willing to, he's the shield. He's going to jump in front and take all of, because there's backlash that comes when you speak out. So yeah, so I hope they figure it out. I think they're adorable with their kid online, and listening to this podcast has made me like him a whole lot more.
What's the name of the podcast again?
It's called, I said it wrong earlier, it's called No Ordinary Podcast.
No Ordinary Podcast.
Yes.
DDG and who else? Who's the young man on there with him?
I'm not for sure who the young man on there with him is. I know it's a friend of his, but I'll get the name.
Okay.
All right. Well, that is Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa. Now, when we come back, we got front page news, and then the real Morris Chestnut will be joining us.
What do you mean the real Morris Chestnut?
The real.
First of all, I've never claimed to be Morris Chestnut. It's just that people in the street say that we.
I wasn't talking to you. I just said the real Morris
that.
Chestnut.
I don't like your little shade.
I didn't say
Stop
nothing
being
to you.
disrespectful.
Hey, dogs will
Okay.
holler. I didn't say nothing about you and Morris Chestnut. I just said the real Morris Chestnut.
You didn't draw the beard in right here.
I didn't touch anything.
You got a big chunk missing.
I didn't
right
touch
here.
anything.
I'm not even joking. It's a big piece missing.
There's nothing missing. It's the same as
Am I
yesterday.
lying, Red? You see it, right? I'm not even joking.
It's the same as yesterday.
Well, you need to fire your barber because he put a big chunk in your.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
you're a hater. But like I said,
it look like a jingle piece missing.
The real Morris Chestnut will be joining us in a little bit, so don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And let's get in some front page news. Start off with some quick sports and Monday Night Football. The Chiefs beat the Saints 26-13. Now, in WNBA, the Connecticut Sun take on the Minnesota Lynx tonight at 8 p.m. This is Game 5. And last night, Major League Baseball, my Yankees lost to the Royals 4-2. They tied the series 1-1. And the Tigers beat the Guardians, and that series is tied 1-1 as well. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. Good morning. You know who else is tied up? Trump and Harris in this race. It seems like they are neck and neck. Well, let me get into this. VP Harris is again saying she will pay for her economic plan by taxing the rich. Now, while appearing on 60 Minutes, the VP was pressed about how she'll get the money from Congress to invest in small businesses. She claims she has a lot of support to get her tax the rich plan through Congress from congressional leaders. Let's hear more from VP Harris in her 60 Minutes interview.
Well, one of the things is I'm going to make sure that the richest among us who can afford it pay their fair share in taxes. You know, when you talk quietly with a lot of folks in Congress, they know exactly what I'm talking about because their constituents know exactly what I'm talking about.
So Republican critics point out that the top 1% of income earners in the U.S. earn 26% of all income and pay 46% of all federal income taxes. Her appearance on CBS News show comes about 4 weeks until Election Day. Trump has consistently polled better than Harris on the question of economy in terms of his handling. Now, I know you just had a caller not too long ago who asked about taxing overtime. Now, she and former President Trump have said they will not tax tips. And Harris's plan does include tax breaks on housing and child care. As far as overtime, I'm not sure that she has mentioned that just yet. This also comes on Monday as Vice President Harris remembered the victims of the Hamas terrorist attack on Israel, saying the world must never forget October 7th and make sure nothing like the horrors of that day can ever happen again. She repeated the pledge and always to ensure that Israel does have the right to defend itself. Now, she says she will always work to ensure the safety and security of Jewish people here and around the world. The Democratic presidential candidate also said she'll work to reunite the hostages held in Gaza with their families, and she'll never stop fighting for the release of all hostages. Now, meanwhile, Ohio Senator and Republican VP hopeful J.D. Vance, he was on the National Mall yesterday where he spoke on the anniversary of the Hamas attack on Israel. Now, Vance said the incident was also an attack on the United States. He says he and Trump support Israel, but he is calling out Vice President Harris to secure the release of hostages. So let's hear from J.D. Vance on that.
Sadly, many Americans do not know the full truth of the Holocaust, and many Americans do not know the full truth of what really happened on October the 7th. It is disgraceful that we have an American president and vice president who haven't done a thing. Vice President Harris, our message is bring them home. Use your authority to help bring them home. We believe that the Jewish state has a right to exist, and Donald Trump and I will fight for that every single day when we're in the White House.
So the Ohio senator said the only way to end the war is to release the hostages. The Republican vice presidential candidate says his ticket with former President Trump supports Israel's right to defend itself. That's what everybody keeps saying, and to do what it takes to end the war. Any thoughts on that?
I don't have thoughts on that. I have thoughts on what you was talking about earlier with, Kamala Harris on 60 Minutes, though.
And our economic plan and the taxing and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think one thing Democrats never stress enough is that since World War II, the economy has historically done better under Democratic presidents. I think that they need to stress that more. And there are a lot of wealthy people who want to pay more taxes. Like Bill Gates. He said if he would have paid tens of billions more in taxes if he designed the U.S. tax system. So he's a person that's saying he wants to pay more taxes. So I think she's right on the money when she says she wants to, tax the wealthy and tax these corporations, to help fund some of these things she wants to do, for the middle class. And I thought the 60 Minutes convo was solid altogether. It was edited weird. And 60 Minutes was putting its own narration over her answers. I didn't like that. I don't want to hear 60 Minutes interpretation of their answers. I want to hear their actual answers.
All right. Well, speaking of actual answers, let's bring it home to New York. Another high-ranking member of New York City Mayor Eric Adams' administration is resigning, and another aide may be next. Now, Mayor Adams tells New York One that Deputy Mayor for Public Safety Phil Banks is stepping aside. Banks' resignation follows several other top aides to step down. Let's hear from New York City Mayor Eric Adams on Phil Banks' resignation.
He reached out to me and stated, Eric, I'm looking to move on, and this is a good time to do so.
Wow.
Yeah, so he said there are reports that, not that he said, but there are reports that Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright will also be resigning. Both Banks and Wright had their phones seized by federal investigators last month before Mayor Adams was charged with federal corruption. The mayor has pleaded not guilty to those charges. And of course, this comes as more heads are rolling from the Mayor Adams administration. Raina Abasova, a longtime Adams staffer who is, according to the indictment of Mayor Adams, coordinated improper straw donations and luxury travel accommodations for Adams and his campaign. She's been terminated from her job. Director of Protocol for International Affairs. From her job as Director of Protocol for International Affairs, she had been on leave from that position as she's believed to be cooperating with federal authorities. In addition, Winnie Greco, who's the mayor's Director of Asian Affairs, whose home was recently raided by the FBI, she was also let go. And one more person, Mohammed Bahi of the mayor's Community Affairs Unit, is also out. The move comes, of course, as New York Governor Kathy Hochul applies pressure for the city to City Hall to just clean house. So even as all of this is going on, new U.S. Democratic House Leader Hakeem Jeffries says that Mayor Adams should not resign despite his recent indictment on federal corruption charges. He's also supporting, saying that Adams is entitled to the presumption of innocence and a trial by jury. But at the same time, Jeffries says Adams needs to articulate a path forward to ensure the city is continuing to function and run in a manner that meets the needs of everyday New Yorkers.
I agree with Hakeem Jeffries. Finally, a Democrat with some you know what I'm saying? Like that's what Hakeem said is exactly how it should be. He's innocent until proven guilty, and he should not resign. Like he should not resign. Like I see everybody jumping ship around him. Cool. You know what I mean?
They falling like pins over there.
Falling like flies, yeah.
He should not resign. Like once again, I've been saying this. Like when you look at everything that Donald Trump has gone through legally, and the fact that he's still able to run for president, and ain't nobody trying to push him out. Mayor Adams should be 10 toes down too.
And been saying that for the longest. That's what we've been saying. He's innocent until proven guilty, right? That's the law, right?
Absolutely. There is a mayor's poll that was recently released that says that 69% of New Yorkers surveyed do think that Adams should step aside. But to your point, I mean, innocent until proven guilty.
Well, that's because people didn't like Mayor Adams before. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he was a popular mayor in New York City before. Right. So I understand people wanting him to step down. And to me, this isn't about whether you like him or don't like him as a mayor. It's just about principle.
What's right?
That's what it's about for me. It's just about principle. I think the principle says he shouldn't step down right now.
Right.
It's the principalities.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on social at Morgan Media, MorgynMedia. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. You can see it spelled out right here. And download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you, Morgan. Now, when we come back, Morris Chestnut and Emayatyz Corinealdi will be joining us. Reasonable Doubt Season 2 is streaming on Hulu every Thursday through October 17th, and we're going to talk to them next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Jess is on maternity leave, so Lauren LaRosa is filling in. And we got some special guests in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We have Morris Chestnut. He's here. And we have Emayatyz Corinealdi. Did I say your name right?
Well done.
I was practicing all morning.
I appreciate
Wow. Go front. I got to start like this. Emma, does Charlamagne look anything like Morris Chestnut?
I was just looking.
We're here to talk reasonable doubt too.
I want to start there because he's been talking so much. He thinks he's Morris Chestnut.
Beyond the reasonable doubt. Ask her that and then ask the question.
No.
Beyond the reasonable doubt.
Emayatyz, does he look anything?
I knew this was going to come up. I
Okay.
was prepared for this
You were
because
prepared.
I've heard.
Squint your eyes a little bit.
Now, here's the thing.
Cover one eye. Cover both eyes.
Both beautiful, chocolate, bald-headed men.
Thank
I
you.
see
Thank
that resemblance.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
You see a resemblance?
In that, what I just said.
Oh, okay. You scared me for a second.
In the factory model is what she said. Just the fact, not the details.
You scared me
Just the
for a
factory
second.
model.
In what I said, yes.
Now, Morris, does it bother you when this brother over here that looks nothing like you claims that he's you for his birthday? He posts pictures of you and says it's my
I'm
birthday.
telling you, somebody came to me on the street.
That's a lie.
I said, I'm dead. No, I wasn't on the street. You're right. I was at a hotel. I was at the valet, and one of the valets.
The valet.
He said, that's what he said. He
Did
said,
he
yo,
have
yo,
You look like Charlamagne?
He said, yo, you Charlamagne. I don't know if he was trolling, but he did say
should
that.
afford him, right?
That
You
did
did.
happen.
Was it a dimly lit valet area?
Did he have glasses?
No, he didn't have glasses. But it did happen. It did happen. It did.
Yeah, y'all didn't. That didn't go the way y'all thought it was going to go.
But welcome, guys. How you guys feeling?
So good to have y'all.
Feeling fantastic.
Yeah.
Man, what roles excite you nowadays, Mars?
Wow.
'Cause you've been in the game so long.
You know what? This role did excite me.
Okay.
It really did. You know, the one thing I love, first of all, she's incredible. I mean, she's incredible at what she does. Incredible actress. I mean, she's incredible. But the whole production, so the production starts, with Onyx Collective. We have, black female executives there. And then, of course, Kerry Washington's company is producing.
Simpson Street.
Simpson Street's producing it. Top notch there. Rama Muhammad, black female showrunner. All the scripts were on time. Before, I'd never gotten scripts on a show like that this early. I would get a script. We would be on the second day of an episode and get the script for the next episode. That normally never happens. So everything was top notch. Then working with her and the cast, this role did excite me.
Now, for people that don't know, what is Reasonable Doubt about? Because you're on season 2, so if they don't know, what is it about? Break it down.
It's about this high-powered, black female attorney, who's about her business. She handles all of her business when she's in the office, when she's in court, but she's trying to juggle it. She's a mother, she's a wife, and sometimes, some of the balls drop out of the air. You know what I mean? She fails at times, and she makes questionable decisions, makes mistakes at times, but it's about this woman, it's about this marriage, this black marriage. We get to see them trying to figure it out. We get to see them making mistakes. We get to see them, really living their life in this way that we don't often get to see on television, along with the courtroom drama of it all. We get to see her really in her element because the show is loosely based on Sean Hawley.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
Okay.
She's a very high-powered defense attorney in L.A., and so we have all of those elements. It's a good blend of the courtroom drama with the character-driven kind of piece.
But you say handle that business in court. Is that all the place you handle the business?
I mean, she does what she got to do anywhere, and everywhere.
Did you sit with Sean at all?
Did what?
Did you spend any time with
yes.
Sean?
Okay. Before we started filming, she invited me to her home, and we sat and we talked for hours. I got to really pick her brain about how she chooses the cases that she decides to take on, because that's the thing. We really, I think, nailed that in the show with the kinds of cases that Jax chooses to accept can sometimes cause issue with her friends or her family. Why are you not defending black women? Why did you choose to defend this man? And that's what Sean is about, and that's something that I admired and wanted to know a little bit more about what goes into her selecting the kind of cases that she chooses to represent.
Is it hard to leave your character on set?
Is it hard? No. I've learned how to just make the separation. And especially with someone like Jax, she has a lot going on, so I'm thankful to just leave that there and go home to normalcy.
I wanted to ask actors, like, when you have to play a traumatic scene, right? Like when Ricky gets killed in Boys in the Hood, being that they play that so much on TV, does that trigger you when you see it? Like, do you feel
that doesn't trigger me.
Okay.
One thing that did trigger me when I did The First Best Man, it was the first time that I had to be such an emotional space. When I did the wedding scene, I was crying, and I had to be in an emotional space for so long. That triggered me for just even thinking about it for at least at least 5 to 7 years.
Wow. What about when y'all did the TV show when the wife was dead?
I had already, as an actor, I had grown and I kind of let some stuff, it's, as actors, we use our trauma and our pain to get there. So I kind of worked on that, but it triggered me for a long time on the first Best Man.
Did you ever get tired of it? Because Boys in the Hood was so long ago. Did you ever realize how impactful that was going to be when you shot it?
I didn't. I had no clue because when I was a lead in the movie that nobody knew who I was,
right.
And no one knew who Cuba was. People knew who Ice Cube was. Angela wasn't Angela. Nia wasn't Nia. Everybody was just popping off. So I didn't think it was going to be that big. No.
That's interesting what you said about the Best Man, because to be in a role when the TV show came where in that iteration of it, your wife was deceased.
Yes.
You had to tap into that emotion of being a man who lost their wife. How did you leave that at home?
Well, so it's
leave that on the set, right?
Yeah. So it's okay. So that was the first Best Man. I had that. So the second Best Man was tough because she was battling cancer, and I had to do a lot of emotional scenes then. So I've just learned to manage kind of those emotions. I've learned to deal with some of that trauma in a different way now. And actually acting is pretty much therapeutic because you're able to release certain things. And so over the years, that's what's happened.
Were you a fan of Reasonable Doubt season 1?
I was on season 2. I was, because I played in a Saturday basketball game, and one of the guys there, he was like, he said, we normally after we play, we talk about stupid stuff, dude stuff in the gym or whatever, and then he just said, hey, you guys seen this show Reasonable Doubt? And I knew about the show because I knew Ely was on it, and I knew Emayatyz was on it, but I hadn't seen it yet. He was like, man, it was just so odd to hear him say that on the court.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so he said, you got to check it out. And so before I did the show, I was definitely a fan because I watched it because he told me to.
And what was harder for you? Because Jax is different season 1 versus season 2. What was the harder draw for you as an actress, like pulling from the experiences? Was it harder for season 1 or harder for season 2 for you?
I think I would definitely say season 2, just because of, she's showing a lot more vulnerability as a result of what happened in season 1.
Yes.
So that just, it required, just like Morris was saying, I got to pull from some of those places, that kind of thing. So it was more of a challenge in that way. I had to decide to open myself up.
All right, we got more with Morris, Chestnut, and Emayatyz when we come back, so don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Morris, Chestnut, and Emayatyz Corinealdi. Of course, Reasonable Doubt Season 2 is on Hulu everywhere. Now, Emma, you started off in soap operas. Most people never leave that soap opera world, but you did. So break down the soap opera world and what got you into soap opera. First, I want to know how you got into acting, because you're a military child.
Yeah.
Usually that means you're traveling all over the place. Your parents are heavy into education. What got you into acting from the start?
It was something that I always loved. But I didn't know that it could be a choice to be a career, and for a long time it was just fun, just a hobby. And I thought that I had it planned out. I was going to go to law school. I was going to be a lawyer. My father wanted me to go to the military. But I said, okay, I think I'm going to be a lawyer. But in high school, I had a girlfriend who also wanted to be a lawyer, and we had our whole plan. It was going to be Corinealdi and Sweeney Incorporated.
There you go.
But I realized, thankfully, before graduation, okay, no, I don't really want to be a lawyer. I'm not trying to go to law school. Like, she was taking it serious and fill out these SATs. I'm like, I'm not doing all that.
Is she a lawyer now?
She's a lawyer now. She's a lawyer now.
Okay.
So we went in the right path. I realized, no, I think I like the drama. I like the suits and all of that in the courtroom. And so that's the moment when I knew, and I kind of started pursuing it at that point. And this was I graduated high school in Jersey. My last 2 years were out there, or in Kansas. I was all over the place. And then went back to Jersey and really started studying and back and forth up here to New York, all my off Broadway classes and all of that. And then that was it. And my first role was that role in Young and the Restless. And that was because that was my mom's show, and she said to her, that was me making it.
Now you made it when you was on her soap opera.
And she said, you gotta get on Young and the Restless and tell Victor I said hi.
Tell Victor.
And so the bittersweet moment about that for me is because my mom passed before that happened, before she got to see. And so as soon as I got on the set, I said, Victor, I just gotta tell you, my mom just loves you. And that was a really small role, and I think that's the reason why I didn't get caught up in it and staying there, because it was a small role, but it was truly one of the most meaningful ones to me to this day because of that.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's so aligned for you.
Your first scene, Morris, is a sex scene.
Right.
Now, do you ever have to tell these studios not to objectify you? Because we heard Method Man once say he always push back against his sex symbol status. Do you ever have to tell these studios like, look, I know I'm Morris Chestnut.
You can't be a stunt double, bro. You cannot be a stunt double. That's what you're getting.
Don't objectify me.
We would know the difference.
Or do you ever feel like you're being objectified? Maybe is the better question.
I don't see that that way. It's almost like, because people sometimes they ask me, they say, do you get mad when people call you Ricky all the time, when people see me on the street? And honestly, the one thing about me is that I have never, ever forgotten where I come from, right? And when I was an actor, just starting out, trying to get an agent, just trying to get a part, just say, just please, somebody cast me. I just want to be seen. I want to be known so I can get more work. And so it just so happens that role that I was dying to get, to be able to get more work, was a role that it was a blessing that it's still relevant and people still refer to it to this very day. So now, just because people say Ricky almost every day, I'm not going to turn around and say, oh man, I hate when people call me Ricky, because I would desired it so much. So to your question about studios, I don't think they objectify me. I think that I've been in the business a long time, and the younger Morris would not have imagined that he would be here to this very single day after all these years. So I'm just blessed, and I'm very appreciative of the fact that they still want to cast me, because in our industry, no one really retires from our industry. Our industry retires us. The phone stops ringing. So as long as the phone's still ringing, I'm gonna keep picking up, and I appreciate it.
But it's one thing to be a great actor, which you are, but it's another to be considered a heartthrob, right? It's only like a kind of like it's like Denzel, Morris. Who else fits in that lane, Lauren? Like historically,
Omar Epps was there.
Yeah,
not like Morris and Denzel.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Yeah, he was younger though. He kind of faded out. No,
Blair Underwood. Okay,
Blair Underwood. Yeah.
From Queen Sugar, dark skin Queen Sugar.
Boris Kojo.
Kofi is he's there.
Calm down, Lauren. Calm down.
Where we at right now, but I think honestly, you didn't. It's y'all level of it's like maybe 2 or 3 that are the go tos. It's mainly you though. Like you get. You do get a lot of the posts and stuff online. A lot of them comes from Charlamagne's Instagram. But.
Shut up.
I think to the answer to that question is, for me, I don't focus on it because this is the type of industry. There's going to be somebody else tomorrow. There's going to be somebody else the next day. So I just focus, honestly, I just try to focus on doing the best job I can as an actor with each job. And if that comes with it, I'm appreciative of it. If that's what people say, I'm appreciative of that. But I don't focus on that. I just have to focus on the work, because that's going to keep me here longer than being a, if people consider it sex symbol.
Now, the real Morris Chestnut was the sexiest man alive in 2015. The reason I got to say that is because sometimes he puts his face there and acts like...
I've never done that. But if you wanted to call him the sexiest man alive, that's fine. And if you want to use me to do that, that's fine. But I've never done that.
I was going to ask...
That was wild, right?
Y'all crazier than me.
That was wild.
What's going on?
I was going to ask, how does your wife deal with it all? With women hollering when y'all out and the comments. How does she handle it?
Well, I mean, my wife is a star in our family, for sure. I mean, she's the one that she's a star in the family, and she knows. And I'm a homebody. I'm home all the time. And honestly, the older I've gotten, she's just not even. She's not stressed by it. She's not really interested in the industry. It's like we've been together a long, long time, and so she knows what it is. I'm not going nowhere. And hopefully she's not going anywhere, but she's cool with it.
And what about your kids?
That's an interesting question. We've never really had the conversation about it. My son has made comments about it.
Does he have jokes?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have jokes. He doesn't have jokes about it.
What are the comments that he's making to you?
Well, so that's a good question. We have my son, and my son's 26 years old right now. No, 20. He just turned 27, and we just basically have a lot of father-son conversations, and my conversations are more geared toward preparing him for life and trying to get him to see the world from different perspectives.
Yes.
Primarily from a business perspective, a young man who's going to be taking care of a family perspective, and he'll make comments just in terms of. When I'm trying to explain certain things to him, how things go in life, he feels sometimes he'll make a comment like, well, you haven't had to deal with such and such because such and such, you know. But, you know, and I keep having to tell him, I keep having to remind him that, you know, I slept in a room with my brother till we went to college, and we couldn't even open the door. It was so tight in the room. We had bunk beds. We put the bunk bed down. We couldn't even open the door. So I wasn't born into this, you know. And so there's a lot of discipline and hard work. So that has, and a blessing, you know, from God, but discipline and hard work that has me where I am today.
All right, we got more with Morris Chestnut and Emayatyz Corinealdi when we come back. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And we're still kicking it with Emayatyz Corinealdi and Morris Chestnut. Of course, Reasonable Doubt Season 2 is on Hulu now. Charlamagne?
What did y'all two learn from each other on set?
Oh, well, I would say I definitely learned, you know, when they asked me how I felt about Morris coming onto the show, number one, I was just excited. I mean, it's Morris the Chestnut, you know, I mean, it's true, you know, just, it's just, he brings a level of professionalism and ease, but yet very just approachable and kind and giving, you know what I mean, in a way that you just may not expect for someone who's been in the business for so long, for someone who knows that they have this particular status, you know what I mean, but he didn't have any of that, you know, so I definitely just appreciated and respected that, you know, about you.
And I appreciate, so the one thing, you know, on a set, the number one on the call sheet is the heartbeat of the set. Right. The set goes how the number one goes. If the number one's not feeling good today, the set's not going to have a good day. If the number one's not a good person, it's not a set that you want to be on. She is literally one of the best number ones that I've ever worked with. She I mean, it's so hard because when you come to a set, you know, we have the scenes, we have our lines, and we have to worry about our character. And she knew everybody's name on the set, everybody's name. And I've been on set right now for 6 months. I still only know probably about 7 names out of like 100 people. And that was just so impressive to me. And it was really, she was really inspiring to me just to see how she was doing that. And she made me mad one day because I always like to be, when they call us to set, I like to be the first one there. And she beat me one time. I was like, oh, I can't have that. I cannot have her beat me to set because I got to be there. Yeah, I said, I can't have that. So she's just in everything that she does. And she, with all of that, you know, she had her daughter there. She's taking care of her daughter. She has, you know, she's carrying the load on this show. She did it so gracefully, eloquently, and just an incredible actress. So I just have a huge, she's inspiring.
Now, is there somebody, you talked about number ones. Is there somebody that you say, no matter how much they pay you, without saying names, that you just won't do a movie with them because they just don't act right?
Oh, no.
The oof was a maybe. The oof was a maybe.
Because someone popped into my head, but I don't. That's just based off of what you hear. I don't know. You know what I mean? I can't judge someone based on that. So no, I wouldn't say that.
Morris?
Oh yeah, I have one.
He said,
I have one. You know, yeah, he doesn't. I'm not sure if I don't think he's done anything too much lately, but yeah, it can be a really, really, really bad set. It's just not a good, it's not a free working environment to be an artist when you have everyone walking on eggshells and this person just dictates the whole mood of the set, and it just makes it so challenging, not even to just do your job, just to even be there, because we spend 12, 13 hours a day. It's like a family. You know, you spend more time on a set than you do your family. So that's probably one person.
I have a question for you. I had heard Erica Alexander talk about how when black women play strong roles on TV, it boxes them in. It's like a good thing because you're representation, but it can be a bad thing because it boxes you into this, like, you always have to have power, you always have to be tough and rough. Do you think about that when you're picking roles? I know because Jax is becoming a household name now. Like, people love the show. Do you think about that? Do you think how that will affect you? Has that been, something that you and your team have talked about?
I understand what she's saying about that, because that is, it's almost can even be a stigma even that's placed upon us as Black women. But it's not something that I think about, because there's an element of it that is true. It's there. We are strong. We've had to be strong for so long, for so many reasons. So, it's not something that I feel like I have to lead with, or something that I have to be cognizant of. Yeah. Because I don't. It doesn't bother me in that way. You know what I mean? And so I think I do choose roles. Not necessarily if I see a role and it says, okay, she's a strong woman or what have you. I know I'm going to put my own spin on it, and I may not feel like she's strong in the way that they think she's strong. You know what I mean? So I can make a different interpretation on it.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know y'all got to go, so I got my final question. Other than when I'm around, Mars,
oh my God,
do you ever walk in the room and say I'm the most handsome man in here?
Oh my God.
No, I
You
never
did say that one day when we were. He did.
No, I would never say that.
And I do want to. You were in the Family Feud video, right? Jay-Z's Family Feud.
Yes.
How were you casted for that? Are you cool with the fam, or how did that happen?
Ava, because Ava directed it.
Ava DuVernay.
Mm-hmm. Ava DuVernay. I think that's how we met. We met at Ava's house.
Yeah,
we did.
And you didn't think it was Morris Chestnut when you were there?
Be honest.
Not even close.
I didn't.
You thought he was the help. He thought he was the help.
I was like, 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we were watching the movie or something, and Gail. The fight.
Mayweather, Conor McGregor night.
That's what it was. But yeah, that's how that came about. But Ava was the director. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we appreciate you. I know you guys got to run.
Yeah, but let me just say I want to say something to you guys. I really appreciate what you guys are doing for the culture. I mean, I see the guests you guys have on. I see the topics that you guys talk about. And I appreciate what you guys are doing, because especially now in our community, you talk about therapy a lot. I love that. You guys bring up current event topics, politics. And so you guys I was really excited to come back, because I've been here before, but I was really excited to come back because I appreciate you guys, what you guys are doing for the culture. So thank you guys for that.
Thank you very
so much.
Yeah.
Reasonable Doubt Season 2 is out now on Hulu. Ladies and gentlemen, it's The Breakfast Club. It's Morris Chestnut and Emayatyz Corinealdi. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for having us.
It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Hate I experience in this room needs to be studied.
Lauren.
Yes.
Got an op over there named Taylor, an op over there named Lauren, an op over there named Rashawn.
People
Ops
say
everywhere.
Man, when the real Morris shows up, there's no comparison. So when the Bentley pulls up next to the Chrysler 300,
Chrysler is generous.
First of all, when I'm gonna come in here.
He had you in here looking
ashy.
What I'm gonna do, you be lotioned down 6 times a day. When Morris came in here, you was looking ashy.
You know what? I'm gonna come in here tomorrow with a fresh baldy. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna put some of that Just for Men in my bed too, just to show
Why
y'all.
you ain't prepared for a Morris game?
Somebody said they do look like brothers. Always the one brother that's fine and the other brother that's ugly.
Yeah, you know when you be like, do you got a brother?
This don't even
and then
bother
you be
me.
disappointed when he bring the Charlamagne.
Don't none of this bother me whatsoever. Okay. Yeah. When one thing you can never do is break my soul. All right. Okay.
Morning, everybody. We are The Breakfast Club.
Look at that op over there.
Salute to Morris Chestnut for just leaving, and Emayatyz. They look nothing like Charlamagne.
What the hell did you just say?
I said salute to Morris Chestnut and Emayatyz for joining us this morning.
Emayatyz.
What you thought he told you?
I thought he was saying fine in Asian or something. You said you called him fine in Chinese. Salute to Morris Chestnut for being Emayatyz.
What the hell is he talking about? What's wrong with you, man?
Yo, yesterday. Hold on. I gotta tell this story. We were sitting in the room after Morris Chestnut and Emayatyz left. And Envy, just for no reason, everything was quiet. We were just sitting here minding our business. All of a sudden, he goes, "They both look good." He's like, "What?" Yeah. Am I lying?
No.
Lauren didn't hear it.
I did, because it came out of nowhere. It's like you was sitting and pondering.
They both look
good.
Because
the brother Morris Chestnut is 55 years old.
Envy.
And she's like 45, 46. And I'm like, they look great for their age.
You look like you ponder. Like you just sit and ponder.
Bricked up is wild. Bricked up is wild.
You was over there bricked up.
Bricked up is wild. I was just saying they look good for their age.
No, bro. You was over there YSL Woody. You talking about, yo, they both look good.
I didn't say.
That's what you said, bro. I heard it.
YSL Woody, yo.
The brother is 55 years old. The sister's like 45. I was like, they look good for their age.
2024.
You older than her.
I said they look good. I can't say somebody look good. He's 55.
Nah,
you really just wanted to say Morris because that's what she was looking at, but you added her in because you didn't want us to get on you.
Now we talk.
But during the interview, y'all, if y'all listen to the interview, me and Emayatyz, we were sitting here like, do we even exist in this room? You were. And It's okay.
Let's get to Jess with the
It's
mess with
okay.
Lana Rose, please.
News is real, whether it's Hilarious, Jessica Robin Moore, just don't do no lies, don't do no lies.
She don't spare nobody.
Worldwide Jess, worldwide mess.
On the Breakfast Club.
She's the coach of shit.
With Lauren LaRosa.
I'm back.
And I got the mess.
Talk to me.
So Glorilla has announced her features for her upcoming album, her debut album, Glorious. Now, this album has 15 tracks, and yesterday she posted some photos. So I'm so excited for her. So she has Lotto on this project.
That's dope.
She has Sexy Red,
Sexy
Big
Red.
Sexy on this project. I love Sexy and Glow together. Money Long will be on the project
Money
as
Long.
well. Kiara Sheard, am I saying her last name right? Sheard.
Yes.
Sheard, Kiara Sheard
Heathen.
will be on. No, I just always say Sheard. I say it wrong always. Will be on this project as well. Chandler Moore will be on this project as well.
They all on the same song, by the way.
Megan Thee Stallion. I love a visual. Bossman D-Lo will be on this project. T-Pain.
T-Pain, Friday.
Friday.
Yep.
Kirk Franklin, y'all.
Kirk Franklin.
She got her Kirk Franklin feature.
Well, Kirk Franklin, Kiara Sheard, and what's the other gospel brother you just named?
Chandler Moore.
Chandler Moore. They're all on the same song. It was called Rain Down.
Now listen, a year ago about Glorilla was on the carpet at the Grammys and Kirk Franklin was interviewing her. Let's take a listen.
So are you asking for a song for the album? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to say?
I am so happy for her.
Gloria, hallelujah.
I am so happy for her, and I know the music is going to be great. But Glorilla, ever since she's come out, she's been the person I think all of us just root for. You just want everything to work out for her.
First of all, she's very dope as a rapper, and all I'm going to tell you is Glorilla album is top tier. Now, you're talking to a person who listens to a lot of Glorilla, and a lot of people put out a lot of music right before their so-called debut album drops.
Yes.
And it's just regular. No, Glorilla definitely elevated her art on Glorious, and that's all I'm going to say.
I'm excited.
Salute to Glow.
I'm excited to hear it. Now, in other news, Diddy news, we haven't done Diddy in like 2 days?
We did Diddy yesterday with his mom.
Really? Dang, it's always
I ain't never
something.
did Diddy. See, that's how people get indicted right there. I ain't never did Diddy a day in my goddamn life. Now, if you want to admit that you did Diddy,
You
that's
said
on
Diddy
you.
news.
Nope.
You be hearing what you want to hear.
Yeah, he over there so nervous.
Yeah, he over there. I ain't do Diddy. I ain't do Diddy.
I ain't do no
Don't
damn
worry,
Diddy.
Charlotte. This one's for you because they're talking about the people that may pop out and some of these little tapes.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. I can say that without a shadow of a doubt.
So Tony Busby, who is the attorney that is representing the over 120 people that did that big press conference, he did an interview with Law and Crime. And Law and Crime is that network that shows all the cases live in the court. And he told them that 12,000 people called the hotline that they set up for Diddy accusers within 24 hours.
Of course they did, because you put it on the internet.
Yeah,
What does
people
that
want to
mean?
check. They're going to say anything they possibly can say to get a check.
And not even that, people playing. I'm not
Listen.
saying that there's not real accusers and there's not real,
But there's a lot of
alleged
people
victims,
playing.
But there's probably more people playing. That's what I said last week.
So listen, TMZ did an interview with him and they got into this as well because they want to know, how do you vet all of this? Let's take a listen.
And you were there in the room, or you participated, or you watched it happen and didn't say anything, or you helped cover it up. In my view, you have a problem. As we file each one of these cases, we're going to make an effort to resolve them on the front end. But failing that, we're going to file public lawsuits and pursue these cases aggressively. So who will be named, when they will be named, all that will come out in due course. All of these individuals and entities, in my view, have exposure here.
Are we talking about celebrities on the level of Diddy?
I would expect so, yes.
But there are also people who want to jump on the gravy train and want to make money. And that's got to be a big slice of what you're getting.
You know, you get 3,200 calls and that turns into 100 some odd clients. I think you see the process that we're involved in. We're doing a lot of vetting, a lot of due diligence.
What's the process? What's the vetting process?
Yeah, but I was going to say, does he have that much staff to do that much vetting? Like 3,200 people calling? Thousands of people calling?
I'll try and find out and figure that out.
That's a lot of
I would
vetting.
love to know what the vetting
We'll come back
that's
to
a
that.
lot of vetting.
I'll try and reach out and figure that out.
And
But
let's let the record show. He said if you was at the parties, you had a problem. I told y'all this 2 weeks ago. And if you ever was around any of this,
You did.
you probably gonna have a problem. There's only one person in this room who's been to a Diddy party.
It's not me.
I've been.
Ain't me either.
I've been, but I don't know
What?
about none of that crazy stuff.
That's
The ones I was at was just a regular day party. I don't know.
Subpoena La Rosa.
Subpoena La Rosa.
Subpoena. It's over. Wrap it up. It's time to go.
You want to finish? You was going to say something else about the Diddy situation.
I was just going to say, I had some more numbers. They said in a 10-day period, they got 3,200 calls. And then after the press conference, they received the 12,000 calls.
That's crazy. How do you vet that?
Exactly. Come on, man. We can't be this stupid as a society. Now, once again, I'm sure that there's real alleged victims and there's real alleged accusers, right? Well, no, there's real accusers and alleged victims. That's the proper wording. But if you do a press conference and you tell everybody that there's a 1-800-DIDDY Rape Me hotline, you're going to have people calling the hotline playing.
Yes.
How do you vet that?
There's people calling, and I'm sure taping themselves to see if they got through.
Did you try to call?
No.
Did you?
No. How would I call? I was just making sure Charlotte was all right.
I ain't call.
You good? Let's get to the donkey today. Who you giving your donkey to this morning?
4 after the hour, we need Marjorie Taylor Greene to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with her.
All right. We'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out The Breakfast Club.
This is a miracle.
There is no question that there are problems in this country between police and community.
Yes, you are a donkey.
The latest on that police killing of a black man.
Now to new developments in the deadly spa shooting rampage.
And yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
And so we are in a state of emergency.
Okay, white supremacist violence is and always has been the number one threat to our society.
But I'm also very proud that my wife is white.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
All right, Charlamagne, please tell me, why was I your donkey of the day?
Donkey of the day for Tuesday, October 8th goes to the bleached, blonde, bad-built, butch-bodied Congresswoman from Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yes, the mayonnaise is heavy with this one. Oh, a human jar of Hellmann's is upon us. It's safe to say Marjorie Taylor Greene is about as loony as a Batman villain, right? I mean, she would be a platinum member at Arkham Asylum, correct? Well, today, Marjorie Taylor Greene is getting the credit she deserves for being stupid because she just refuses to deal with reality, okay? In this case, we all have seen the devastation Hurricane Helene has caused. Over 200 confirmed deaths, destruction of homes, damage to infrastructure, severe flooding. It's just all bad. And what I don't understand is politicians who will politicize these natural disasters. Some things should be bigger than politics. I saw the vice president, Kamala Harris, say Ron DeSantis won't even take her calls in regards to Hurricane Helene, and I just don't understand that. The same way I don't understand what Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying. See, Mother Nature should be the most humbling thing for humans, okay, until extraterrestrials come, because Mother Nature doesn't care what race you are. She don't care about your sexuality, your religion, your political party. Mother Nature is one of the few things that should bring people together. It's one of the few things that should make us realize, in the grand scheme of things, we are tripping focusing on our differences instead of focusing on what we have in common, because in those moments, when a Category 4, a Category 5 hurricane is about to impact your town, you all have one thing in common, and that thing is survival. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And when you are busy trying to survive Mother Nature, the last thing you want to hear is someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene peddling conspiracy theories about why what is happening is happening. And that's exactly what Marjorie Taylor Greene did. Let's go to ABC 10 for the report, please.
And tonight we're looking into a story getting a lot of buzz in the last 24 hours. It claims Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is implying Democrats caused Hurricane Helene to harm Republicans. And folks, this one is true. Last night, Greene wrote on X, quote, "Yes, they can control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it cannot be done." While she didn't say exactly who they are, the post came just hours after Greene posted this map showing the political lean of the areas impacted by the hurricane. And as you can see, there is definitely more red than blue. Greene has pushed many conspiracy theories in the past, including some which have been called anti-Semitic.
Marjorie Taylor Greene says she doesn't believe in climate change, but if you tell her the weather is controlled by the Illuminati, then all of a sudden she's a meteorologist who knows they control the weather. Who the hell is they? That is always the question, okay? Is it the they DJ Khaled used to talk about? Is it the they the LGBTQ community talks about? You know, that confusing pronoun stuff? Who is they? Okay, Marjorie, if you're going to make a claim like this, at least say who they is. Real conspiracy theorists say names, like HARP. Okay, if you would have said HARP controls the weather, tinfoil hat Twitter would have crowned you queen. Maybe they still did because of these comments. I don't know. But the reason Marjorie Taylor Greene is getting donkey of the day is because when you make claims like this, it throws a middle finger to science. not just science. It throws a middle finger to reliable sources of information. Okay, leads people to believe in folks' foolish feelings as opposed to actual facts. And what should really piss us off is when Marjorie Taylor Greene spews rhetoric like this, it distracts from real conversations we should be having about A, climate change, and B, how to prepare for these natural disasters. Do you understand how difficult it is to get people to care about the truth nowadays? We are in an era where facts don't change most people's opinions because most people don't use facts to form their opinions. They use their opinions to form their facts. So when a congresswoman like Marjorie Taylor Greene starts throwing around nut-ass conspiracy theories like they control the weather, you're just misinforming the public and your constituents. But you are also just simply undermining real science. And we will never, ever solve the problem of climate change if we can't even admit that climate change is real. And the news has to stop giving stuff like this oxygen because it spreads the foolishness more than it suppresses it. I let you hear ABC 10 earlier. Let's listen to MSNBC now.
The death toll from Hurricane Helene is now more than 200 people, 220 people, while hundreds of others remain unaccounted for. Such tragic figures didn't stop some of the extreme members of the Republican Party from gaslighting the American public about the cause of the storm, with Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeting, and I quote, "Yes, they control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it can't be done." So Marjorie, who are they? Who are the they you are referring to? Exactly. Democrats? Jewish space lasers? Who knows?
You can't just report this stuff. You have to shoot it down with actual information and facts. Stomp it out. Can't just report it and leave it there. Got to ask more than just who is they. Okay, this is why people are skeptical about scientific truths, and this is why no matter how hard America tries, we will never be able to solve real problems. Climate change deniers, flat earth fools, we shouldn't talk to none of them after 5 p.m., and you shouldn't be talking to any of them for free. Ever. Okay, now I have some flat earth fools in my life that I love, but I'm not taking on no new friends that are flat earth fools or climate change deniers. Nope. You need to really reevaluate your life if you and Marjorie Taylor Greene are on the same page about some of this stuff. Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks climate change is a hoax. She's the person that will deny science because she probably believes the sun just runs on vibes. Okay, but the good thing about science is that it's true whether or not you believe in it. Please let Kathy Griffin give Marjorie Taylor Greene the biggest hee-haw.
Please give this giant jar of mayo the biggest hee-haw.
You believe in a flat earth?
No, I'm not a flat earther.
Okay, just making
I have
sure.
one in my life, though.
Okay. Who is it?
My brother.
Oh.
The youngest child is always the most special.
How do you feel about that when he says these things?
I love him regardless.
Okay.
But
do you tell him that there's actually people that have been in space and have seen?
I stopped telling him stuff a long time ago.
Do you tell him that there's so many things that you can see from Earth, like the moon and like the sun, and you can see that those are spheres?
But you know, people
tell
are
those things?
Delirious. Like, this guy really thinks he looks like Morris Chestnut. It's the same as a flat earther.
You think your beard is real. You try to convince us every day that that's your real beard color. So what you saying?
So?
And you tried to go in and color that little hole in during one of the breaks.
I did not touch it at all. I did not move.
Yes,
I did not
did.
go anywhere.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're a
did.
liar.
Yes, you did.
You are a liar,
Yes,
you dirty
did.
liar. Where's that drop? Where's the drop? You don't have that drop anymore?
What?
Thank you for that dog in the day liar.
What am I lying about?
Now, when we come back,
You went. Your classroom size. How big was it?
very small, like the bus, very small bus.
I was in the slow
go-
class for a little second because
See?
I had failed a standardized test just for like one time.
Everything about you screams. Give me patience.
I was in remedial
While we
English one
teach you
time. I
words.
was. I ain't gonna sit there and lie about it. I was
can
definitely in
tell.
remedial English at one point. I was so scared because those are the kids I used to tease. They put me in there.
Not supposed to tease them kids.
I know. I was young. You gonna judge me for what I did when I was 17? Come
Yes,
on now.
everybody else
Cut out.
does.
I know. Ain't that's terrible? Gosh.
All right, when we come back, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson will be joining us. All the Smoke
Yes,
podcast,
man.
those brothers will be here.
Please listen to the All the Smoke podcast. It's on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, and so many of you do. And today they are celebrating 5 years of All the Smoke, and they've dropped a new coffee table book called All the Smoke, All the Stars, All the Stories, No Apologies. It's out right now on my book imprint, Black Privilege Publishing. Simon & Schuster came out today, so they'll be here to talk about that.
Yep, and we'll talk to them next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Jess is on maternity leave, so Lauren LaRosa is filling in. And we got some special guests in the building.
That's right.
We got Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Welcome, fellas.
What's up, family?
Man, how y'all feeling?
Good. Tired, but good.
Tired, but good.
Collectively known as the All the Smoke podcast.
That's right.
Their new coffee table book is out right now. All the Smoke. Man, you know, I always say, like, I know that there's a lot of athletes who do podcasts and stuff now. I don't know anybody before y'all. I feel like y'all started that whole wave. So to see y'all be the first with a coffee table book, man, that makes so much sense to me.
Man, it's been a blessing. It's been a journey. I mean, our 5-year anniversary is tomorrow.
Wow.
And if you would have told me like 5 years later we'd have a coffee table book, a whole production company, and people working underneath us, I would have been like, you're full of shit. I didn't even know what a podcast was at the time. So, you know, we are blessed to come together and find lightning in a bottle, and thankful for the opportunities, and obviously being able to partner with you and your company and be able to get this done was dope.
How did this happen?
A lot of people don't know that, bro. Shouts out to you. A lot of our success,
for
you know, a lot of stuff that we have going on, you brought our way, and you thought about us even with Black Effect. So we appreciate you. A lot of people don't know that, so we gotta give you your props too.
All love, my brothers. How did this come about though? This just for a podcast. Like, I know y'all was partners
together.
And homies.
Yeah. I think Jack retired maybe 1 or 2 years before me, and we both got out and we were doing ESPN and Fox and getting positive feedback, and people said we needed to do something together. And we were at my house in the Bay one time smoking, and I'm just like, you want to do a podcast? And he's like, sure, what is it? And I was like, I don't really know, but I think we can drink and smoke, because we were working at ESPN and Fox. You know, you got to kind of walk that line. So it was just a little bit more to our comfort zone. And he said, yeah. So I started doing the homework, and we landed here. We landed at Showtime.
Now, Kamala was your most recent.
We did Joe Kim Noah after her, but yeah, Kamala was a big boy for us.
And how was that? I know you were a little reluctant a little bit at first.
Oh no, you know that. I called him. I talked to him about it. Me and Matt, we went at it for a couple of days about it.
You didn't want to do it at first?
Nah, because I really don't want to get in politics. I don't even want to be involved. And a lot of people that support me don't get involved. You know what I'm saying? I look at it the same way I look at it. But as a friend and as a brother to him, you know, anything that he asks me to do, 9 out of 10 times, I'm loyal to a fault. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's something I don't want to do. But I know it was beneficial for our company. I know it's benefit, and I see after I did the interview, I see now I have a lot of women in my life. I have 8 aunts, 6 daughters. You know, so I would look to them after I did the interview. I'm glad I did it now, because they all look at her and they look up to her and aspire to be great like her. So I'm glad I did it.
You know, when he said he didn't want it, first of all, I told him, I said, Stack, have I ever led you wrong in a business decision or life? And he said no. But, you know, when he said he didn't want to get involved with the politics, I told him, you know, I don't think that was his choice, because once he did that George Floyd thing, he put him smack dab in the middle of one of the biggest protests this world has ever seen. So a lot of things come with that. A lot of good, a lot of bad, but a lot of things come with that. And I think that he implanted himself in the middle. And I always will respect his opinion, but I just thought this can be an opportunity he has a very loyal following. And it could have been it was an opportunity for him to, you know, get some stuff on his chest or ask straight to the face, you know, ask her straight to the face those questions. So I'm glad he decided to come around. It took him a minute, like literally, hey, let me tell you, bro, until she came in the room, Jack wasn't
Oh wow.
Right until so she came in the room, and then she took us away from the group and took us on a walk throughout the house and started showing us this dope black art and sculptures, and Jack was still tough, like this. And then he saw this one piece of art he liked, and she had talked about it, and she had moved on, and I kept following, and he went and touched the art and looked at it. I was like, uh-oh, she might be getting to him. And then she showed this dope ass chandelier, and then once she showed the chandelier and explained it, and the Jack started smiling, I was like, all right, she got him. So we were straight. So it took him a minute to warm up.
Did she know that you didn't want to do it?
She had to know. Yeah, she had a little bit. I think she had a little. Someone might have handed her.
Did y'all smoke before y'all got there?
I did.
Oh, of course. I'm high now.
It was too presidential to be able to try to sneak it in and get one off. And we was representing a lot of people, so we didn't want to get in trouble. But yeah, definitely we pre-gamed.
You know, that was one of them smoke showers. You know,
in the shower. It got the steam, so don't mess with the hotel.
Smelling like it.
You know, y'all had the last conversation with Kobe Bryant, the last interview with Kobe Bryant, and I always wondered, was that the last time either one of y'all actually spoke to him before he passed?
That was the first and last time I spoke to him since we played against each other.
Wow. I know, Matt, y'all had a
we would see each other a little bit more because he was coaching Gigi and I was coaching the Twins. So we had talked maybe one time after that, and then he had sent some shoes literally the week I think he passed on a Sunday. He sent shoes that previous Monday to the Twins and their whole team. So they had just got fresh Kobe's. So we had spoke, and then obviously, like I said, he sent some shoes the week of the pass. So it was tough, man.
What stands out from that conversation? I mean, y'all have it in the All the Smoke coffee table book, but what stands out from that conversation, just from that day?
We had a conversation in his office before we actually got on camera, and he was really adamant about this next 20 years and for the world to be prepared for what he was doing in business. He was just finishing writing one of the children novels he was working on, and he's just like, fellas, like, I don't want people to remember me for my last 20 years. I want them to remember me for my next 20 years. You know, he had the fund and had won Emmys and doing all kinds of stuff in the business space, and obviously really saw, when I got to see him coach Gigi and just, he didn't always never showed a ton of joy, but you can just tell he loved it. I mean, he had these little girls running the triangle offense, which takes grown men a long time to learn. He had these girls practicing 4 or 5 days a week, 3 hours a day. Like, the thing about Kobe was he didn't take nothing light when it came to basketball. So these were little young girls, but they were running the Lakers offense to a T. He was like a drill sergeant with it, but you could tell he loved it. You know, all those little girls loved him and looked up to him, and just the passion behind that was beautiful to see.
For me, I think meeting him as a teenager and seeing him grow into the icon he was, I just admired that. You know, with so many players and basketball players you come across doing AAU and traveling, you know, coming up as a teenager, you see so many people that's supposed to be great that don't live up to it. You know what I'm saying? He lived up to it and exceeded it. So, you know, just to be able to sit there to talk to him after our careers, you know what I mean, and go through the memories, you know what I'm saying, then, you know, before he passed, that meant everything to me.
Yeah. What do you think about the Lakers now? We see Bronny play the last 2 games and people are on Bronny's ass.
That's a beautiful. I showed him the picture when we got in the car. We saw the picture. That's the dopest picture ever. When he helping his dad up, that's the dopest ever. Whoever hate die.
Yeah, like, I think if anyone deserves this opportunity to play with his son, I think it's him. You know what I mean? And the fact that whole thing was orchestrated for him to get to the Lakers is amazing. And I had a moment this past summer because my twins are 15 now, so I take them and play against grown men. And I remember one time me and the twins were on the same team playing, and we was hooping. I'm just like, man, this is so dope. I couldn't imagine this on the highest level. So to me, I mean, the kid was the 55th pick. Normally the 55th pick doesn't even make it. So all these crazy expectations for him early are ridiculous. Like, allow him to develop. But, you know, we don't live in a world where development is allowed, especially on the highest level. So I think from a father-son aspect, it's incredible. But, you know, the Lakers are one of those teams where you got to produce. What have you done for me lately? And they haven't necessarily done that. So it's going to be an interesting, you know, scrutinized year, I think.
We were talking about that earlier. Do you think that Bronny will actually have the chance to develop, or you feel like people are going to pigeonhole him so much that it might
I think he has even more of a chance to develop because his father's there. Like, that's the motivation he have. And he's seen what it takes to be great. So all that is in him already, and now he's in the facilities where you have everything here to be great. I think he has everything he needs, and I think he's definitely going to blossom over.
And I also think too, I mean, I don't think you look at Bronny in the same light as you look at LeBron.
That's what I said. Don't compare him to LeBron.
Try to though.
Just compare him to other NBA
players.
I think he's going to be a very solid role player. I mean, he's got a high IQ, plays defense, can make the right play, can shoot the ball. So I just think he needed a little bit more time to develop, and now he's developing on the biggest stage. But I think, you know, 2, 3, 4 years, he's going to be a very solid rotational player.
All right, we got more with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes from the All the Smoke podcast when we come back, so don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa is filling in for Jess, and we still kicking it with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes from the All the Smoke podcast. Charlamagne?
What was the process of putting this book together? Like, how did y'all choose which conversations to put in there?
Shout out Dylan.
Shout out him too in this publishing company.
Obviously, you and the company, and then Dylan, just understanding, you know, the caliber of guests we had and the different topics we spoke on. You know, again, there's a ton of people in this space now as far as sports, but I don't look at it as competition. I think everyone had their own journey, their own voice, and their own experiences, and I think we still think with all the conversations we had, our conversations are still different from everybody else's. So just important, you know, family, mental health, everything that comes along in this journey, and you know, we've been able to transition from not just a sports show to just kind of a more of a culturally relevant show, you know, where we're talking to the Kevins and the Wills and the Jadas and the Jamies and the VP. So I just think, you know, high level conversations with high level people, and, you know, being able to be celebrated with that. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, we're the first podcast with the coffee table book, man. So I think it's a tremendous opportunity. We're very thankful for it, and hope that everyone checks it out.
How did you guys know it was time to? You talk a lot about transition. That it was time to transition and like lean into like, okay, the podcast, the merch, like just the business side of things. Like, was that a switch? It probably was planned, but when did you know, like, okay, it's time to jump the fence now?
Man, the reason why I left the NBA the first year of a 3-year deal, I happened to won a championship with Golden State, and I wouldn't get a
He
chance
get paid
to
2 years
see.
after you got playing.
I wasn't getting a chance to see my kids. You know what I mean? So it was kind of a perfect storm. We won a championship, and I was ready to move. So I was just kind of excited, and I think sometimes why athletes have a hard time transitioning because they don't get to leave on their own accord.
Right.
Most of the time it's injuries or a reputation or just teams don't want to no more. But, I was someone that just, I was in the midst of a contract and I'm just like, man, this was a blessing. We won. I'm missing so much time with my sons. I'm a father first. So, that was my transitioning reason. And then once I transitioned, I'm like, damn, what's next? I had invested well and, had some things moving, but I knew I still needed to find something to do. And, media came knocking for both of us. We kind of ran with it. So, Jack is the kind of guy that, he trusts very few. So if you're in his trust circle, he's going to listen to you. And when I pitched him my idea, he trusted me to run with it and make it happen. And, that's what I was able to do.
I want to ask some basketball questions before y'all get up out of here. Klay Thompson, what you think about him leaving the Warriors? And do you think it was time for him to go?
I think it's a breath of fresh air for him. Some guys need that during their career. You know what I mean? You played at a certain spot for so long. It's a bad feeling in the body. I ain't won the last couple of years, so a lot of times they're going to try to find somebody to blame it on. And it fell on Klay. You know what I'm saying? Which is unfortunate because he's the reason why they have a big part, why they have all those championships over there. But this is how professional sports goes. Yeah, this is how it goes. And I think it's great for him because he's landed in a spot where he can do what he do best with two of the best one-on-one players ever in Kyrie and Lugo. He can spot up and shoot jumpers. So I think it's a great situation for him because I've been in a situation where I was somewhere and I needed to go to a different team to flourish and be a better player when I came to Golden State. So it's kind of the same for him.
Is Klay a hooper or a scorer?
Klay is a hooper.
Okay.
Yeah, he play on both ends.
WNBA. What are your thoughts this year? What a new excitement, new life. Sometimes I ain't gonna front. It feels better than the NBA. What's your thoughts on WNBA? Caitlin Clark injury.
The women's game is pure, man. You know what I'm saying? They all play it the right way. It's refreshing to watch. It's good to see them start to get their money and get the attention that they deserve. I'm a hooper, so I'm all for anybody that's hooping, that's putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? That's grinded all these years to get to the top. I'm happy that they're getting their just due.
I think the growth of the game is tremendous. The fact that we're talking about it and seeing it on ESPN and all the highlights and we're doing a piece that I'm excited about on Andrew Reese and Caitlin Clark and just their dynamic that they brought to the game and the vehicle of new fans they brought. And you've heard kind of some of the good and the bad that have come with that. Angel spoke out on just the negativity and the racism that have come from some fans and kind of using them. But
is that normal though? Because it seems like that's normal in the league. I'm sure that you guys have been called a million and one names.
Absolutely.
You get into a fight.
Utah, Boston.
You played in Indiana, man. Like what you talking?
Utah, remember?
Yeah.
I just got into trouble in Indiana.
That's back when you still had the space between your teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I had a cardboard cutout under the goal with me in a jail suit.
Oh
no!
Shoot.
It was funny too. We was all laughing though.
We signed it for him and all.
Yeah, no, but I think the growth of the game is tremendous. I think it's going to continue to grow. It's got new eyeballs and new sponsorship and new money, and we just want to continue to celebrate them.
There was a video last year in November that went viral of you and Derek Fisher coaching the twins together. That video was like, I think the world was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
The world?
Yeah.
Me? I was there, I'm like, hold up.
Jack wasn't having it.
I remember 2015 and everything before that, right? What was it like getting to that point where now we on the court? It's important to do it, but what was that like?
People don't understand that me and Fish squashed that summer after it happened. Like that happened at the beginning of one season, and then the next summer, once I found out he was around and then twins cared about him, like we squashed it because it wasn't about my ex and I no more. It was about trying to raise these young men. So Fish has been in the boys' life for almost half their life. You know what I mean? So we've always been, and I was real enough to sit down and have a conversation with them like, bro, I'm still playing, so you're going to see my kids more than me. I need you to teach them the ropes while I'm not around. So to me, once I got over and once we talked about how I didn't agree with the move and it could have went a different way, like it wasn't about saving that. It was about harvesting and we got to raise two young black men. So I think he's done a great job. I tip my hat to him all the time. He's their second dad, and he I coach him in the summer during AAU and he coaches them during high school. So when people see us, they still kind of trip out, but like our beef was for a season. It wasn't even that long.
Love that for y'all.
Yeah,
it's easy to squash beef when you win the fight. How you been?
See how you trying to throw it back up? You see how you trying to throw it back up? Don't even answer
that 90 miles is a long time ago.
Go with the merch. Go with the merch.
Matt Ball, Steven Jackson, we appreciate you.
Y'all got some shows, right?
Live show today.
Yep.
Yeah, Philly with $1 million worth of game and a really special guest coming through with them, man. So we're excited to be on the East Coast.
Jim Jones, Davies, all of them said they was pulling up, so I'm looking to see y'all.
Gonna see.
Is it gonna be AI in Philly?
How'd you know? We gonna see.
Is that real?
We gonna
that's
see.
So that's happening.
That's probably my favorite.
Come to Philly for that.
The AI All the Smoke conversation is probably my favorite AI conversation.
It was deep.
Yeah, that conversation is in the All the Smoke coffee table book, which is out right now. All the stars, all the stories, no apologies. Go get it.
That's right. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Listen, make sure you go out there and grab the good brothers Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson new coffee table book, All the Smoke, all the stories, all the stars, all the stories, no apologies. Available wherever you buy books today.
That's right. And let's get to Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa.
The news is real. Whether it's Jess Hilarious, Jessica Robin Moore, just don't do no lies. Don't do no lies.
She don't spare nobody.
Worldwide Jess, worldwide Mess.
On the Breakfast Club.
She's a coach of shit.
With Lauren LaRosa.
I'm back. And I got the mess.
Talk to me.
Fat Joe has a new show on Stars.
Okay.
It's called
Salute to
Fat
Joey Crack.
Talks. And it's produced very, very well. Have you guys watched it yet?
I seen some of the parts with Method Man. I seen some of the clips.
So if you have Amazon Prime, you can get Stars through Amazon Prime as well too.
Oh, so it debuted already?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
First episode.
Okay.
Yesterday, yep, I watched the episode. It's with Method Man, and it's with two people. I only saw the Method Man part though. So he sat down with Method Man. They talked about a lot. Like they go back to Staten Island. They talk through, the upcoming of their relationship and how like back in the day you couldn't like show emotion and just all that good stuff. And you know how Fat Joe is with telling stories and being animated. So it's a really good watch. But they get into a conversation that Method Man has had publicly, just about like depression and his upbringing. So he starts talking about just his life and just some of the things that he's went through. And I think in that moment he realizes just how tough stuff was for him at one point. And they talk about the fact that he's actually putting together a book right now. Let's take a listen.
You get a thought about, damn, I wonder what this person's doing. Act on it. Call them. Yeah. See how they doing. Or just find some way to get in contact with them. It never hurts. You have no idea how much that can mean to them. Because, I go through these bouts with certain shit.
Do you still go through that?
Yeah. It never really goes away.
I went through depression after my sister died, Pun died, my grandfather, same time. 2 years straight going to therapist. And it could be a sunny day, the dark outside.
Was it an aggressive type of depression?
No, I went through it. I was sleeping in the bathtub with no water running.
Wow, yeah.
Looking up at the ceiling. And I went to a therapist, and it took me 2 years of beating myself up. And so I tell people, you could be in a gang, you could be in anything. Somebody trying to kill you, just move to another state.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But when you fighting your own brain, it's with you all the time.
I love hearing brothers have those conversations because the only way to eradicate the stigma around mental health is for everybody to tell their stories. So I'm glad that they sharing their stories with each other.
And the sad thing about it is like somebody like Method Man and Fat Joe is like, they're celebrities, they're stars. So people don't see that side of it. They just want to see the turning on Wu-Tang all the time. But, everybody goes through something. So salute to Method Man and Joey Crack.
And they're the go-to people in their family.
Yes.
So it's like, who does the go-to person go to when they need somebody to talk to? So
and Method Man actually talked about that too. He talked about how because Fat Joe was saying that sometimes he regrets a lot of different things that he's done, or just just kind of some of the grief that he feels like he's caused other people, like his parents or like whoever, because of the different things he was doing as he was coming up and having to learn. And he asked Method Man do you regret anything? And Method Man says, I wonder sometimes if my parents had regrets, because he talks about his mom being a very young mom. We have that second clip about the book.
Actually, I'm working on a book. And the funny thing that's what happened was this girl that I had the meeting with, the writer, actually, I grew up with her sister in Long Island. She know my life. And there were so many things that she didn't realize until I told her. Like even the family I was staying with, she thought that was my family. It wasn't. I was actually homeless and they took me in kind of, you know what I mean? I was in them streets. When I tell you I was out in the street, I was out in the street. We talking 5, 6 years old, coming home after dark. Police had to come get me kind of Yeah, used to drive my mother crazy, brother. I'd be wondering if my parents got killed. But the book will explain.
And he talks about how on this side of things, Method Man, because his mom went through so much, she was a young mom, 3 kids, no real help. she had a rough life and she did the best she could. So he said he just talks about how he tries to make everything so good for her now because of so much that she went through. But it was a really great conversation, produced very well too. The visuals are really good as well.
And it's not just dark. They talk about him making records like The What with Notorious B.I.G. He talks about a lot of the stuff that he's done. It's just not all dark.
No. It's a full encompassing conversation.
That's right.
And by the way, to me, those conversations aren't dark. You know what I'm saying? Those conversations aren't dark because they are leading people to the light. Because if you don't deal with your trauma will ultimately deal with you. So when you hear brothers having those conversations, but then they're also talking about going to therapy and being on those healing journeys, those aren't dark conversations to me. Those are actually conversations filled with light.
And the great thing about those conversations is, Fat Joe said he was in therapy for 2 years. Fat Joe makes it his business to check up on everybody that he loves.
They talked about that too.
And I love Fat Joe for that. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not, he doesn't ask for anything. He calls the people that he loves around him, not just his family, his family and friends, just to say, yo, how you doing? How is your family? Are you okay? Do you need anything? I love you. And Joe calls me frequently just to make sure I'm okay and my head is okay. So Joey Crack, I love you. Just want to
they were
that.
saying like and back in the times when they were coming up, y'all would be in a club and like you see somebody, you want to say what's up, you want to be happy to see him, you couldn't even be happy to see him, you just had to everything had to be suppressed. So he said that they make it a point now to
totally
check in on your people.
Envy left out the fact that Joe be sending him that, why rewind the time? What is it? Why fight the time when you can rewind the time? That beard darkening.
Joe actually hasn't sent me that, but I'm sure that he will send it to me now. What up, Joe?
Okay.
He said that to you though in real life, right?
He did. He walked up to me at the DNC and he touched my grades and he said, why fight the time when you can rewind the time?
Look at y'all. Fat Joe, Charlamagne at the DNC.
That's right.
Method Man, Fat Joe having conversations about mental health. I'm proud of y'all.
Well, my 4th annual Mental Health Expo is this Saturday.
I heard.
At the Marriott Marquis Times Square from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Early.
I bring some of the best therapists, some of the best psychiatrists, grief counselors, spiritual leaders, and it's a free event open to all ages.
Envy said early.
Yeah, you should be there early. Good night. You said you got something later on tonight, so you should go early.
No. It's during the day. My brother's baby shower. My brother.
What time?
I have to be there by like 11, 12 to set up.
Well, drop
yesterday you said 3 o'clock.
Somebody got to bring the babies in the family.
What you say?
Nothing.
He said somebody got to have a baby.
No, I did not. I said salute to her brother on his baby shower.
That is not. I almost did you? Whoa. Okay, JD Vance. Okay, JD Vance. Yeah. You be firing real heavy from over there. You gonna run out of ammo, and when you do,
are you
baby,
crazy?
and when you
start throwing bottles when I run out of ammo.
Start throwing bottles.
You gonna be over there scrambling. You know what I'm gonna do?
Never.
Salute the Black Rob. Rest in peace, Black Rob.
You give me too much great material. Yesterday, Lauren told us that Safari was her cousin. Safari's really from Delaware. And that she be designing Safari's vest.
The jean jacket.
The jean vest. Yeah. We looked it up on ChatGPT. All of this was true. All of this is true. Okay. Then she tried to randomly.
Some people in Donkey today.
Randomly in the group chat for whatever reason, she was just like, "Y'all lucky I'm on the phone with my man." Me and Envy ignored her because we knew that was a lie.
So anybody I wasn't on the phone with, now they just don't feel like.
That's what you said in the text. Well, stop lying.
You ain't got no man. But that is just what the best with Roques.
Yo, honestly.
Oh, and I didn't even tell you. I did tell you.
What?
Yesterday I'm leaving.
Oh, the lady in Walgreens.
A woman walks up to me and she goes, "You leave Lauren LaRosa alone. Because I'm in the same struggle. I'm 37 and I'm single, and it's hard out here. Man,
same struggle.
I tried not to laugh, but boy, I was doubled over in the street. You hear me?
Excuse me, Miss Lady. I appreciate that. Thank you for running down on him. But by 37, my boat is going to be docked, and I'm going to be looking out at the water with my family, okay? I'm so sorry.
Put in the air. I'm sorry.
It's over.
God got a plan for you.
Don't talk to me about God, you heathen.
All right. When we come back, we got the People's Choice Mix. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa is filling in for Jess. And let me salute to my wife. Today was the day 31 years ago that I asked her out. I asked her on a date. 31 years ago today.
What y'all doing?
What we doing today?
Yeah.
Well, we got the kids today. One got dance, one got soccer, and one got basketball. But after, we have our nice little.
At least you remember that date.
Yeah. So 31 years. I asked her when I went to. We were in high school together, and I asked her out, and she said yes, and that's been my girl ever since.
Aww.
That's dope.
31 years.
Look at that.
31 years. What? You jealous? You jealous?
I'm not jealous.
You jealous?
Do you do the 10-year orgasm anniversary too? Because you wrote about it in your book. I'm just asking. Like,
Bro, having an anniversary when she put away the rose is crazy.
Oh, wow.
Actually, salute to my book, which is a US Today, and it's a national bestseller, Real Life, Real Love. If you get a chance, make sure you go out and get it. You know, Charlamagne actually wrote something on the back of the book. He says, envy and gear have built something really special.
Amazing.
And with the right amount of discipline, respect, and love, you can build something similar. Thank you, Charlamagne.
Let me write a chapter for the next one.
I see that. Oh.
What? What page is the page where you talk about how you couldn't
Is there footnotes
make
at
her
the
orgasm
bottom?
for 10
Like,
years?
do you give definitions of like orgasm, rose?
That was a good way to sell a book. I'm going to be honest with you.
I ain't going to tell you who else wrote stuff on the back. You can check it out for yourself. All right, when we come back.
See? Sean Combs. Let me see what it did for real.
Yes. That's why I put it down like that.
Let me see. Sean Combs. For DJ Envy and Gia Casey, it's not just about having a beautiful family. It's about the work it takes to keep that family together. Sean Diddy Combs, rapper, record producer, and frequent freak offer.
Yo, get out of here.
That's what it says on the back of the book.
Man,
no, it doesn't.
Okay.
It does not say that.
This is a very eclectic list.
Yes.
Who else on there?
DJ
Kelly?
Clue, Envy and Gia had a strong bond from the beginning. Not as strong as me and Envy's, but they are the perfect example of soulmates who were meant to be. Okay.
That's crazy.
It didn't say that.
He ain't want to read Kirk Franklin.
What 50 said? Gia and Envy make you wonder what we all can build if we start with the right foundation. Okay.
Read Kirk Franklin.
Kirk Franklin ain't on here. Oh, yeah, he is. Thank God that he brings from the ashes Thank God that he brings from the ashes authentic ambassadors of love like Envy and Gia. That's great.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So if you get a chance, pick up Real Life, Real
look
Love.
at
That was
you
our first book,
blushing.
which
So
is a
happy.
national best seller. We got another one coming out next year as well, Real Life, Real Family. But Real Life, Real Love is still out there. 31 years with my bae.
There you go.
All right. When we come back, positive notice, The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. We got to salute Morris Chestnut and Emayatyz Corinealdi for joining us this morning.
That's right. Make sure you check out Reasonable Doubt Season 2. It premieres on Hulu.
It's out now.
It's out now?
It's out now. Yeah, it's out now.
Okay.
It's out now.
Oh,
They wrote that
but
wrong.
an episode comes out every
Thursday. Correct.
Okay, through October 17th. Got you.
Matt Barnes and Stephen Jackson for joining us as well.
Salute to Matt Barnes and Stephen Jackson. First of all, make sure you subscribe to their podcast, the All the Smoke podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network. Fantastic podcast it is. And make sure you go pick up their new coffee table book. If you're a fan of the podcast, even if you're not a fan of the podcast, but you're a fan of sports and culture, you should go get All the Smoke, All the Stars, All the Stories, No Apologies. It's available everywhere you buy books now. A lot of their classic interviews from Kobe Bryant. You know, they did the last ever interview with Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, Kevin Durant, Allen Iverson, Steph Curry, a lot of different people. So go get it right now. It's available everywhere you buy books today.
All right. Laura, how you doing with your man? I see you all blushing this morning.
Wait, huh?
Huh? Look at that. She's confused. All right. Well, you got a positive note, Charlamagne?
I do, man. I really want to just tell y'all that a lot of y'all be having bad days simply because you don't hop out the bed and turn your swag on. I'm serious. You know, sometimes you have to take a look in the mirror and say, what's up? Like, wake up after you say your prayers, wake up in the morning and just tell yourself how much you love yourself, how much you value yourself, and how much you appreciate yourself. You do that, when you validate yourself, you won't spend your whole day seeking validation from a bunch of digital D-heads on social media who don't matter no way. So have a blessed day.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?